Hey, good morning, folks. Monday morning, March 30th. I don't know uh, if you've been watching the news or not, or if you saw reports, but we may be in this for another month. I don't. Hi, Alice. Good morning. I don't know exactly what that means or what the orders are looking like, but we're in it. We're walking through it. We're going to continue to prepare ourselves the best we can be to be His people in this time. Um, we never expected to. Hi, Judy. Good morning. To have to go through something like this, but here we are. So let's make the best of it. Let's continue to be agents of hope and love and grace and mercy and be His hands and feet. Good morning, Diana. I want to share with you a joke this morning, and this one made me laugh. Hopefully it'll make you laugh as well as we get started. I think laughter is a good way to start our day versus complaining and being downstraught by the news and everything else that's going on. Good morning, Charlene. And so here's our joke for this morning. When life gives you melons, you might be dyslexic. I thought that was really funny. Good morning, Paula. And so, yeah, you'll catch that on later if you didn't get that yet. Feel free to share that with your friends, just in case, Yeah, but only at 6 feet. You can't get closer than that, so probably best over the phone. Good morning, Louise. We want to, excuse me, we want to continue in our Bible study that we've been doing in the mornings in Ephesians 6, and so if you want to, go ahead and turn there, and we'll be looking at actually 2 verses today. Thanks for hopping on yesterday to watch the service. It was a good day. It was a weird day. I still have trouble preaching to an empty sanctuary. Missy and Keith were there. Missy and James and Keith were there. Keith was helping with the technical stuff. Missy and James had come in to do the kids' stuff, and so there were 4 people there on Sunday. That's disappointing for a pastor to preach to 4 people, but I knew that wasn't the case. And I know the reason why. Good morning, Laurel. Thanks for hopping on. Thanks for commenting. Go ahead and as that's happening, feel free to comment. Feel free to write your thoughts. The same things that maybe you would have said or thought out loud in service. That's okay. As we're doing Facebook Live, go ahead and type it in there. Interact with it. This is the way you can talk during service. How about that? You can talk and not be in trouble. Or have the pastor look at you crazy. You can have all that good stuff. Good morning, Betty. Coffee's almost ready, so I'm settling for orange juice here. All right, back to Bible study. If you have your Bible, open up to Ephesians chapter 6, and we're going to dig into what I think is a good word this morning. We've been going through the armor of God verse by verse. Hi, Judy. And so we've now got down, we've kind of answered the why are we putting it on, all that stuff. And now we're getting to what are we putting on? The what type of spiritual armor? What does this look like? And so there's a couple of things that I want to remind you of. As Paul is writing this, he's in prison and he's being guarded by soldiers. So he sees them put on their armor. He sees the order that they put it on. He sees the way they put it on all the time. And so that kind of sets a backdrop for this as he is writing this to the church in Ephesus. And remember, he spends the first 5.5 chapters explaining to them why you need to do this. This is how you're going to walk the Christian walk. These are the things that you're going to do. This is what you should be doing as a believer, as a Christian. And now we get to the last part of chapter 6, and he says, finally, through all that, be strong. Not just be strong in yourself, not just one of those personal, build yourself up and be strong, but be strong in the Lord. Trust in Him for His strength and His power. So we get down and it says, stand firm then. This is verse 14. We're going to do 14 and 15. Stand firm then with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. These are the three pieces of armor that we're going to look at today. The belt, the breastplate, and the shoes or sandals or whatever our feet are going to be fitted with. So these are the three things we're going to look at. And so first we need to understand what Paul says in verse 14. He says, stand firm then. The only way that we can stand firm is when we're equipped with this armor that God has given us. Each aspect of these pieces of armor. Now, of course, this is a spiritual thing that we're doing. We're not actually putting on armor on our feet and on our body, but this is a spiritual thing. And so, I want to remind you, this is kind of metaphorical, but they all have specific meaning. Remember, Paul's watching the soldiers put on their armor. That's where these metaphorical pictures are coming from. So he says, stand firm with the belt of truth buckled around your waist. And so let's talk about that belt. Excuse me. Man, I got a tickle this morning. Stand firm with the belt of truth buckled around your waist. Paul watched the soldiers put on their belts. And in fact, the belt, or other mornings, good morning, James, the belt was kind of a really important part. Now, it really wasn't a piece of armor. If you think about it, a belt's not going to protect you from much at all. But what the belt does is it gathers all the rest of your garments. It gathers them up and puts them in place. Morning, Linda. And so think about it. That's one of the most important pieces. Otherwise, you're going to have clothes flying everywhere and all kind. They didn't have the materials that we have. Think about some of the compression materials and the workout clothes and things that were nice and slim fitting and form fitting and didn't get in your way or cause obstruction. No, it was often like tunics or things like that. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And take a coffee break. Oh, that's hot. That's really good. That's hot. Woo. Okay. Back to the belt. They've got this belt thing going on, and it's gathering up all their garments. That means it's getting stuff out of the way so their arms can move freely, so they can turn and they don't have clothes, getting caught up and getting in the way and all that good stuff. So what this means is that's kind of what truth does for us. When we walk in truth, when we let truth gather everything else around us, we're not going to have to worry about those other things from us. Those other things get in the way. Because when truth is truth, it's truth. Does that make sense? It represents, it gathers up all of our garments so that we can fight effectively. When we are being truthful, other people can call that you're being faithful. You're being faithful. Many people believe that the church will never go forward unless it has the belt of truth, unless we are being truthful in everything. And I believe that's the case. We can't hide stuff. We can't pretend to cover things up. Other churches, other denominations have tried to do that, but we can't do that. This is a part of armor. The foundation of the armor, gathering everything together, is truth. And so that's why we're called to first put on the belt of truth. It's this basic confidence in faith in Jesus. Now the next piece we put on is the breastplate of righteousness. The breastplate of righteousness, or and this is important because the breastplate was a big, heavy piece of armor that went over shoulders, right here, almost down to your waist. Not quite, maybe halfway down your abdomen. And these big, heavy pieces of armor were meant to protect your most vital organs. And so Paul would watch them. He watched them put this on, and he could understand why they're doing that. And so he used this as a metaphor, this breastplate of righteousness. A soldier could not go into battle without that piece of armor. They couldn't go into battle without that piece of armor. And so, but I want to remind you that this is an external piece that goes over. This is not your righteousness, but this is righteousness that comes from God. That's Him. It comes by faith in Jesus. That righteousness gives us this sense of confidence in our lives. And then we go on to verse 15. And with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. This one's really, I like this one. It's representing a type of protective shoe or a type of sandal worn by the Roman soldiers. Now, no soldier can fight effectively barefoot. It's important to have the right equipment as you're going to go into battle. And so we see here, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. Fitted with the readiness. You ever go shoe shopping and just you can't find the pair that fits right? There's something wrong with this shoe or something wrong with that shoe. For a short while, some of you know this, some of you don't, I sold women's shoes at Macy's. I still have nightmares. For Angela, it was great because her shoe closet quadrupled in size. But it was, yeah, I'm just going to leave that there. Shoes are something that if it's not right, we know it. If our shoes aren't right, our whole body knows it. It can throw off, it can make it makes your feet hurt, it makes your legs hurt, it makes your hips hurt, it makes your back hurt, your spine, your shoulders, your neck. It can change your whole entire day. Yeah, Michelle, that's right. I know. But we're told to put on, to have our feet fitted with the readiness. So what Paul's talking about, these readiness, are things that would help us accomplish what we need to accomplish. The idea of being ready. The Roman soldiers, one of the things that they were so good at, people like the military successes. The military successes. I got talking too fast. The military successes of both Alexander the Great and Julius Caesar were in some part credit given to the type of equipment their soldiers had. And one of those was the type of shoes they had. Think about mountain climbing cleats, how they have spikes in the bottom of their shoes that come out. The Roman soldiers were at that time were some of the best equipped shoes in the fighting realm, and they could traverse over terrain and take these long, incredibly hard marches and do them in short term because they had a solid foundation. They had a solid foundation. They could move swiftly. They could move fast. They had grip. They were ready to stand firm. And so Paul's using all of this ideology, and he's saying, now I want you to stand firm with the belt of truth, with the breastplate of righteousness, and with your feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. So where does this readiness come from? It's not coming from the type of shoes that we put on. That's not what he's talking about. It's not coming from anything with our feet at all. But it's this mindset, this ideology that where our foundation is in the gospel. That's where the foundation is. I wonder if Paul had in his mind when he was writing this Isaiah 52:7. And Isaiah 52:7 reads this way: "How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him who brings good news, who proclaims peace, who brings glad tidings of good things, who proclaims salvation, who says to Zion, your God reigns." I wonder if Paul had that rolling around in his head as he was writing this. But this idea of being ready, of having these feet fitted with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. You know what's important to be ready? we spend a lot of time getting ready in our life. Think about the amount of time we spend in front of a mirror, preparing, getting ready for the day, getting ready for work, getting ready for bed, getting ready for whatever. We're getting ready for something all the time. We're called to be to have our feet fitted with the readiness. We need to be ready to go into spiritual battle at all times. And that comes from this, by being grounded and rooted, our foundation in His holy scriptures, in His word, in His gospel. That's where it comes from. We have to be mobile. We have to be flexible. We have to be ready with the truth. This is the place that we need to be at in our Christian life, to live in constant readiness and flexibility. And flexibility really is a good word for today, isn't it? Thanks, Jaron. Good to see you, buddy. Readiness and flexibility is, I think, where we need to operate in these days, because we don't know what tomorrow holds. We say that a lot as Christians, but literally our world has no idea what tomorrow holds right now. And so Christians, believers in Jesus, followers of the way, whatever you want to call yourself, let's be ready. Let's be ready and prepared to be His hands and feet in a world that desperately needs His hope, His love, His truth, His grace, His mercy, His embrace. Let's be His people. All right? Guys, love y'all. Appreciate y'all. It's good to see you again. Make sure you get an extra cup of coffee this morning. You're going to need it because, well, it's Monday. So I hope y'all, good morning, Chris. I hope y'all are going to have a great day. Be blessed. Be blessed. Allow Him to bless you. Maybe it's through His word. Maybe it's through fellowship. Maybe it's through a phone call that you make to someone else. But be blessed, and then be a blessing. All right? Be a blessing to someone else. Guys, love y'all. Appreciate you. We will see y'all again, okay? God bless, and take care. Bye-bye.